Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at Mana. And usually we look at Bitcoin, but I'm just going to go ahead and make a separate video for that one altogether. And just in general, with Bitcoin, it's kind of trending right around 43,000. We had a 9% sell-off yesterday, so a lot of coins got damaged pretty heavily. But thankfully, Mana and a few others are recovering quite nicely. So we're going to find out kind of specifically why that is the case. And if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I just love teaching people how to trade, and I can tell you that I've been trading for over 15 years, and it's kind of just my day job, and I do this every single day for a living. And it's really awesome experience to be able to, help others grow. So I've got a community, trading community, of course, link in the description below if you want to check that out, where I actually help people become better traders. I'm rolling out with the Trading Academy at the end of this month, of course, available to members as well. And we're going to transition from Patreon to a website platform. So it's going to be a much better, more robust environment for our current members, but for right now, let's go ahead and take a look at the one-day charts and go from there. So one day, we're still under the 50-day slip moving average. We kind of know that, but that could be a point of contention here soon where the price will effectively intersect with that, I would say inevitably, when the moving average would decrease, essentially, right? So for now, we're in between both. It's not bad, not good. We are under 50 as well on the RSI. Traditionally speaking, you'd want to say that that's an adverse or a negative thing, and it does work as a potential resistance. So we'll see soon how strong that holds. But for lack of better terms, the price is recovering quite nicely, trying to come up to get past that level. But it does appear that there was somewhat of a rejection, of course, and we'll look at that on a smaller time frame. And of course, we've got the bearish divergence on the MACD, kind of telling us we're still in bear town. So for lack of better terms, we don't want to consider Mana bullish by any stretch of the imagination yet. We're still a little premature, but this recovery here today, that's essentially an engulfing bullish candlestick, is a good sign so far. If we can get that to close, it tells us there's a significant reversal and that the bulls are essentially in control of that candlestick. And in this case, a one-day candlestick is probably the most effective candle to consider, right? So just something to think about. And as we can see here, this is just, most of this progress took place in only 4 hours. It did come up to test the 200, got rejected, and still kind of sort of testing the 50, but also getting rejected as well. So I would say it's still a little early to tell if Mana is out of the doghouse yet, but this recovery, that push up, that strong amount of volume in a short amount of time is a good sign. It shows that there is a significant addition to the position and that somebody somewhere thinks that it's worth investing in, right? And for lack of better terms, if you look at the one-day chart, you can see it's done very well, right in between $3 and roughly upwards of about $3.80. In other words, we have a tremendous amount of volume right in that range. And yes, it's working as a potential resistance, but it could work as a support soon if we can get back up above. So just to speculate here, or just overall, kind of throw it out there, 323 is a point of contention. That's either going to be a strong support or strong resistance. And it's a little too early to tell here with the one-day candlestick not closing. But I can look at this again here tomorrow. We can identify that. But simply put, if we get the one-day candlestick to close, kind of below that Fibonacci retracement level of 323, then we're going to be in a position where it might be considered still a resistance. And, we probably want to just consider dollar cost averaging for a little while, right? Again, that's kind of the answer to everything at this point. I know it sounds like a broken record, but if you're not dollar cost averaging, you're kind of doing it wrong. There's rare occasions you can find coins that take off that are going to do well. Like I think Luna, for example, will bounce back very nice. YFI did good. ANT also held up. But until we get a little less fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market and more consistency, then we're not going to see an explosion of coins, right? It's a lot of this, because people are scared to invest in altcoins right now because they don't know when the whales are going to dump their Bitcoin. I mean, there's a lot of Bitcoin that's unallocated right now too. So there's a big handful of different things we can look at, but simply put, there's a lot of bearish divergence here for Mana, even though it recovered quite nicely here in only 2 hours. And we just need to respect that, right? And once again, 323 is going to be a potential resistance until it closes in the one-day candlestick above, right? So we want to consider that as a resistance, not even a potential. It is a resistance right now until we close above. You can see we obviously came up and now we're coming right back down. So let's go ahead and take a look at some other key indicators. These are probably going to be very synonymous with most other coins where we have, even though the price broke above the cloud here, the price is now back down intersecting with the price action, or sorry, the lagging span rather. So ultimately, even though this is a potential buy sign for the Ichimoku cloud, it's not proving to hold up right now. There's a bit of a sell-off. Now, this is a natural correction with the price coming up that fast. So keep that in mind. There's a good chance the price could hold above the cloud and stay above. And if it does hold for just say a couple more hours and we get the price kind of just go sideways from here, then it might be a good consideration to, again, add to your position, DCA, whatever the case is. depending on your overall goal for this coin, that would essentially be a good consideration. Taking a look at TD sequential, we can see we got this exhaustive state previously, so it makes sense the price kind of ramp back up. We are at a 4 out of a potential of a 9 on this continuation, so there is still a chance we might see 5 to 9 hours worth of bullish continuation to the upside. That's a possibility. So just bear that in mind. We can't rule that out, but it does look like it's this, kind of this natural correction because it ramped up too high too fast, and it does look like we're getting rejected off of some of those moving averages on the 4-hour chart, as well as at $3.23, that important place. So my recommendation for you is to just, again, dollar cost average if possible. But if you look at the Fibonacci retracement levels, you can see here that this guy right here, 323, is going to be kind of a big deal, because as you can see, the price is kind of progressing below that now. In fact, why don't we go ahead and extend this out a little bit further so you can see it better. You can see that line is kind of holding strong. So if it does close in the one-day candlestick there, we can consider a resistance, and it might need to test that a few more times before it can break. So again, exercise caution if you're taking a short-term type of position. If Mana is your coin for the long term, just add to your position, because I can confidently feel or say that based on how high it rose, how fast it came up, it makes sense that it was selling off, right? But it also makes sense that it's holding strong here at this range because of the fact that that's the lowest point in which it should go. Because if we look at the overall volume profile, it is stuck right at 323. That is like literally the point in which we have the most amount of volume. So everyone feels that 323 is a good value. It's not a bad value. It's not a good value. And it's kind of like right in the middle. It's like an average price. So it's kind of the average true range, you could say, for Mana. And that's something we need to understand, because volume does hold true as a support and resistance level. Yes, we lost it as a support yesterday, but today it's considered to be a resistance. So I know it kind of waffling back and forth there, but I can tell you that, until we get a little bit more data, we can kind of just speculate that that's going to be a strong resistance until we can get past that. But if we do break above, just say close above, say we're close to like 325, 340 on the one-day candle, then that might be a better consideration. In fact, to learn that we're on the right side of the tracks. We got a little bit more confirmation, but we don't have any confirmation right now. Everything's bearish divergence. And obviously that's it's par for the course for every coin right now. But coincidentally, Mana bounced back very well recently, and that's a good sign. We want to celebrate that. Just don't get ahead of yourselves, all right? So, it's not going to the moon, you could say, right? We got to keep it real and legitimately understand that there's still plenty of resistances in our way here, okay? So once again, dollar cost average, I don't foresee the price coming tremendously lower than this. If it does, that's why we dollar cost average. You only put a small percent in at a time. You have money left available for the next dip if it were to happen. I do feel we might see a little bit more of a leg down from Bitcoin. I wouldn't say anything lower than 41 or 42,000, but that could still happen. All right, we got another week or two before anything actually truly resolves itself from that sell-off, and we just gotta be gotta be real with that. So I hope you found benefit here, of course, and if so, comment below. If not, maybe consider joining my community where we can all learn and grow together. Look forward to helping you out there. I do send out swing trade signals, day trade signals, as well as, of course, my trading academy rolling out at the end of this month. So it's going to be really exciting. Looking forward to getting that to my members, and we'll look forward to getting to know you better too. Thanks again for your time. See you the next one. Take care.